Welcome to the devlog of my current game. I'm currently working on an RPG game because RPG is a genre I always wanted to make a game in. And here you can see me modeling with it. And if you have been around a little bit longer on my channel, you already noticed that this was a Blender speed modeling video I uploaded. And as soon as I got the wizard ready, I put him into the game and animated him and worked on the basic controls like leaning towards the direction the player is controlling. And here you can see the next step for me was to make a jump animation or a jump control, and this is where the player really has a full control over the character, and it felt so good because I had a SNES controller, a USB SNES controller, and it felt so smooth like Mario 64, and this is where I want to start to make a full game. And the next step was to have a procedural environment. I started with an island, as you can see here. It's just a circle and a few colliders that are bunched together to have such a ground where I can start from. And here you can see I placed some ways and lines randomly around to have some kind of array system, to place trees at the position where no ways are, to have an environment that is, it looks a little bit different in every aspect of the level. And here you can see me fighting against the wolf. This is the first enemy of the game. It's a little bit bloody, but it makes it a lot of fun to fight against him. And this is where I am right now, and where I want to show you my process. And what was really missing was the framework for the effects. So I started to rewrite the complete code. I get rid of everything, even though I had a running prototype where the enemy is attacking the player and the player can attack the enemy back, and after several hits the enemy dies. So this is what was working, but I wanted to use the same effects and the same code on the player. So I just refactored everything and get rid of every unnecessary code line. And some effects, like here you can see me just recreating the popping number effect. This is the effect that one number is popping up as soon as the player hits the enemy or the enemy hits the player. And you can see how much damage you did. And here you can see me playing around for the first time, but the enemy does nothing. And this was a problem. So, but I noticed the effect was working. This was a good thing because I know, okay, everything is fine with the effect and the refactoring, but I just broke the code for the enemy and I have to fix it. And as you can see here, I did it and added some colliders to the enemy so that I know as soon as the enemy approaches the player and the distance between the enemy and the player is under a certain amount, then the enemy can attack and do some actual damage on the player. And on the other hand, I just tested the effects on the player several times, and after a while I came up with this final result you can see now. So the next devlog will come soon.